Namaste, beautiful people. I hope you guys are doing great. So, this video is going to be about the Jupiter's transit in the sign of Gemini. So, we'll start with the explanation, but before that, if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe it and hit the bell icon below so that you get regular updates. Also, if you would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link below www.anmollastrology.com, and under the readings and unique readings section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. Now, online courses are also available at my website under the name of courses. So you can check that out, and if you want to purchase that, you can do that. You will get proper assistance from me personally over email if you have any doubts. And if you even want to schedule a doubt session with me, you surely will get that as well. Okay, so let's get started with this video. So Jupiter coming into the sign of Gemini. Let me tell you, it's a beautiful time period for most of the people. But so as to understand what the transit specifically of Jupiter does, we need to know just the two things. Jupiter brings in lessons along with blessings. Jupiter is the karka for your higher lessons and for your higher understanding. It is the planet for your wisdom. So one thing you just need to know with the transit of Jupiter is that Jupiter is going to bring in wisdom for you. Okay, so before understanding what Jupiter will do by going over the planets and also by its aspects, let's first understand what the sign of Gemini is and what the planet of Jupiter is. So Jupiter is the most benefic planet. It is the Brihaspati, the Guru, mentor, the wisdom. It is the strategy. It is your wisdom to understand people, understand knowledge. One thing I have seen very firmly with Jupiter is that Jupiter refines your understanding and your opinions. Jupiter gives you wisdom from the tiniest of lessons in your life. It is indeed the most benefic planet. It blesses because always a guru blesses. But guru also takes his or her guru dakshina. And that guru dakshina is in the form of your responsibility. So every transit of Jupiter will bless you with something that you will be thankful for, but along with that, it is going to give you lessons. It is going to make you responsible, make you fulfill your responsibility. Jupiter is the natural lord of the 9th house and the 12th house. 9th house is about your higher learning. That's why Jupiter represents higher learning. It represents long distance travel. It represents your connection with wisdom, spiritual knowledge, and with the higher knowledge. Your connection with people at distance. Jupiter is one of the karkas to show whether or not you have your foreign settlement. It's Jupiter, it's even Venus. That's because Jupiter is the significator of the 9th and the 12th house. Both the houses are required for your connections with overseas. Then it is fortune. It is Jiva Karka. It brings in light. It brings in Jivan Dan, life to that particular house. But along with that, it brings in war, where you'll have to strategize. It gives that burden, that responsibility, and with that, It's also the lord of the sign of Pisces, the 12th house. 12th house is the house responsible for our inbuilt talents, our bed pleasures. Jupiter has a huge appetite for sexual encounters if Jupiter is certainly placed. Like, for example, if Jupiter is in Leo, in Scorpio, then it will have, and even in Libra, it will have huge appetite for sexual encounters. Jupiter is flamboyant. Jupiter is show-offy. You would see Jupiter people are optimistic. They want to announce they want to share their happiness. But these people, the people who are ruled by Jupiter, and also Jupiter means hiding your sorrows, but celebrating your happiness, your celebrations, events. Now, Jupiter also rules the 12th house, the sign of Pisces. That's why it's responsible for your spirituality. It's responsible for your sense of responsibility. It is responsible for your wisdom and intuition, because with Jupiter, one of the elements that is associated is ether, which is responsible for one's intuition. Right? So now about the sign of Gemini. Gemini is naturally the 3rd house. It's the air sign. Right? It is the sign responsible for spreading of information. And when Jupiter comes into Gemini, it's about spreading of knowledge. Because now no longer it is a sign only about gossips. Rather, with the influence of Jupiter, it's about a higher purpose. Okay, so Jupiter in the sign of Gemini, I personally believe it's a beautiful placement. And even Jupiter being in the 3rd house is a beautiful placement as well. This gives a person the intensity of knowledge. They are very knowledgeable and they have the hunger, the greed for wisdom, knowledge, even occult, for information. Gemini is about your skills. Gemini is about your efforts, your courage. So Jupiter, when comes into this house or this zodiac sign, it makes you responsible towards your skills, towards your courage. So if someone has Jupiter in the sign of Gemini in their natal chart, life might not be very easy for those individuals, because they are here for a bigger purpose. They are here to get famous for their skills, for their communications. They are excellent communicators. And when you'll ask a certain story from this person, Jupiter in Gemini, you will be getting a whole movie in front of you. They'll start from the scratch, consider all the detailings, and then give you the whole picture of the situation. So they are excellent communicators, they are excellent teachers, they are excellent lecturers. They are excellent mentors. Okay, so Jupiter coming into the 3rd house also gives you the responsibility with your relatives. Jupiter coming into the sign of Gemini, you have a very wisdom oriented and learning experience and karma with your relatives. At least you have one close relative or one close friend who is going to guide you as your teacher, as your mentor. Okay, and this is a brilliant position for someone who works in technology. in skill related business. And definitely these people end up doing business. They might be doing jobs for a certain while, but they surely end up in business, because these people have the hardest time actually to be submissive with their communication, because Jupiter is a heavy planet. It is a heavy planet. It is not an easy planet to deal with as far as the freedom is concerned. They want the freedom, but at the same time, they want the control. Now, let's talk about the predictions. So, first of all, the sign that is most affected with all these placements is the sign of Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is going to receive the 10th aspect of Saturn and 7th aspect from Jupiter. So, this is the time of manifestation. Wheresoever your Sagittarius sign is, that house is going to be extremely activated. Like previously, it was the sign of Scorpio. So, wherever your sign of Sagittarius is, that will come into fruition, that will come active, that will become active, and you'll have to deal with the situation of that house. So that house is going to give you the results, and most prominently those results are going to include your hard work along with your blessings and support. So it is going to be a positive one. Rest depends whatsoever planet is there, whatsoever position that particular house holds, right? So Jupiter also has 3 aspects, 5, 7, 9. So 7th aspect we discussed, it's on Sagittarius. 5th and 9th aspect are going to be on the air signs. So Jupiter is going to affect the air signs. It is going to give its blessings to the air signs and also to the sign of Sagittarius. Trust me on this, that Jupiter is a lamp that lights the whole house. It will give you responsibility, it will give you heaviness wherever it is placed. So wherever the sign of Gemini is, that is the house where your wisdom is going to generate from for 1 year. But rest of the houses, it's like celebration, it's optimism, it's growth, it's light. Okay, so Jupiter is transiting in the sign of Gemini on 14th of May 2025, and it is going to be there till 2nd of June 2026. And in between, it is going to go retrograde and enter, it is actually going to move in the sign of Cancer, then going to go retrograde and move back to Gemini. So definitely a very karmic time coming ahead between October to December, but we will discuss that in another video. But right now it's about Jupiter in the sign of Gemini and over the planets. Now let's start with the planets. So first planet, our king, the sun. So if you have sun in the sign of Gemini, or if you have sun in any of the air signs or the sign of Sagittarius, this can be the prediction for you. So if you have sun in Gemini, Sagittarius, Libra and Aquarius, this is going to be your prediction. When Jupiter comes over sun, it amplifies your ego. You will have to take on responsibilities over your shoulder. Just like, for example, you are going to take over the responsibilities of your father. It will bring in responsibilities of your father or anyone who is at an authoritative space, either in your workspace or in your family. You will now be taking over their responsibility. You will now be a person who is going to act dependable and the person who is going to decide or make decisions for, a number of people. It amplifies your ego, that's why. But remember, as a part of remedial measure, you will have to be grounded. This is an air sign, and Jupiter and Sun coming into an air sign like Gemini can give you mixed results or dual results. Let's categorize it like that. So the dual results are actually that you can act arrogant, aggressive during this time. It's like someone comes in and just talks like a simple word to you and you just get offended. You're like all over the place with your attitude right now. But this attitude is going to help you within your career. It is the time for increment. It is the time for your promotion. It is the time for you to shine. But along with that, keep your attitude in check. This Jupiter is going to bless your Sun. And remember, Sun is actually 11 places away from its lordship. It's 11 places away from the sign of Leo. So wherever the sign of Leo is, you're going to get recognized for that. You're going to receive the recognition, the desires, fulfillment of your desires during, regarding that aspect. But the only problem is with the attitude and generosity. As the remedial measure, you can also do good big donations. Like for example, you can do a bhandara. You can do seva. If you guys do not know what bhandara is, that is an event where you make ample amount of food and distribute it among the people. Those people can be the labor class, those people can be your relatives in fact. They can be anyone. You just are giving food. You are just helping them with one time of meal. Okay, this will also give you recognition. That is why the pride is there. And it would even be in a very positive way. But suppose, for example, you have Sun and Rahu conjunction in the sign of Gemini. Then it could be overconfidence and over arrogance. But this definitely gives you support from government organizations and especially local government. Okay, so with Sun, it's your time to shine and take on the responsibility and work for the benefit of your praja, for your family members. Even your father is going to get the blessings and the fruits of this transit. And this also shows that you will be able to communicate through your skills, through your efforts. That is going to be your language. And for people who are into IT sectors or marketing, this is a brilliant time for appreciation for you people. Okay, so next, if you have Moon in the sign of Gemini, Libra and Aquarius or in Sagittarius, Jupiter is coming either in front of you, over you or trine from you, from your Moon, sorry. So here it is blessing your Moon. But along with that, it is giving you some sense of responsibility, some sense of burden. Now this burden is not like Saturn's burden. It's a good burden. It's a happy burden. Like for example, maybe you become a mother, you become a father. You would love to, fulfill your responsibility towards your child. For example, your child is getting married. You are in your 40s or 50s and your child is getting married. Now the responsibility is for their marriage. Just a second. I just need to check if my mic is still working. Yeah. So that's about marriage. That's about responsibility. Like for people who are maybe in their 50s, they are getting their granddaughter, grandkids, grandmother. So it's blessings. And also with Jupiter coming over Sun can give you a son as a child. It can be birth of the child. Even with Moon, it's like emotionally you feel that you are responsible for the happiness of others. It's the time for fortune through sacrifice. Fortune by taking care. Trust me on this, it's not all the hunky-dory time. It's a mixed of emotions time. You're getting Jupiter over your Moon. With your decisions, you have been very indecisive because either you are a Sagittarius or you are a air sign Moon. You have been indecisive, you have been confusing personality. This Jupiter is going to give you lessons with your decision making. It is going to make you understand that what can be the repercussions or consequences of being confused in life. That's why it will take you and let you know what is the importance of getting decisive, getting rigid with one's decisions. So that is the lesson you are going to learn for over a year. Okay, this brings in liquid cash. This brings in money, inflow of liquid money. It could be either you are selling an asset and you're getting money, or you're just getting money like promoted. It's just a fortunate time for you people. If you have Moon in the sign of Sagittarius, it actually makes a Gaj Kesari Yoga. It's a fortunate time full of, I would say, there is going to be heavy exchanges of money. At the same time, you will get a lot of ideas. A lot of ideas of, of using your expertise and your decisions into some tasks. You'll get the ideas, you'll want to get those ideas into play and earn from it. So it's a time full of opportunities. And at the same time, it's the time for responsibility. You will feel responsible. You will feel sacrificial. It's going to be an inner voice that is going to guide you with your motherly nature, with your positivity, with your optimism. But trust me on this Jupiter is going to give you wisdom. This Jupiter is going to make you learn what is the truth of life. It is going to suppress your gossiping nature and you will get lesson because of your gossips. For example, you have been a person who has been over communicating in their relationships or with their neighbors or with anyone. You will end up into a situation where you will have to take the blame either for someone else or for yourself. And that is going to lead you towards a lesson where now you will have to be careful with your communication. You will be like, I have to learn how to not over communicate. Right? So next is the planet Mars. So if you have your Mars in Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, then Jupiter is either coming over your Mars, opposite of your Mars, or trine to your Mars. Now Mars in any of these signs is an aggressive Mars. And this Jupiter is like, it's going to be a matchstick which is going to light that Mars, that energy of Mars. It can be a time of initiation for you people. It can be a time for you to fight for what is right. Whenever I see Jupiter and Mars together in someone's chart, I know this person is a fighter. This person is a warrior. This person has transformed their wisdom, their energy, their vitality over a period of time because of their lessons, because of their kind of, you can say, early responsibilities in life. But these people are fighters. They fight for themselves, they fight for other people. They can do that quietly, or they might do that by announcing it, by showing it. But definitely this is the call for your energy, for your one step ahead, for your leadership. Beautiful time for opportunities, beautiful time, trust me on that. If you have Mars, specifically in air signs, this is an amazing time for elevating your status, communicating with influential people or people who can benefit you in one way or the other. It is a good time for your male friends or your male siblings. It is a time where you might feel a little lazy as well if you have Mars in Gemini, because Jupiter is a heavy planet. It suppresses your energy. It suppresses your actions. And you know, one positive thing according to me, what it is going to do is, it is going to restrict your unnecessary action. So you will be acting only where it is required. You will be acting with strategies, with a proper organization, and you will get lessons in regards of your actions. For example, earlier you have been a person who has been, because see, I always say Mars coming into an air sign is like your action doesn't have any direction. And that is the realization you are going to get now. Because of which, now Jupiter is going to make you learn what should be the focus of your action. What is going to be your goal? And it will make you work over it. It will give that fortune to you so as to take your actions into a task, into a formed task. And whenever Jupiter comes over Mars, it establishes growth. It elevates one's status in life. Okay, so next would be, but also one more thing I would say is that with Mars and Jupiter coming over Mars or coming trine to Mars, you will also have to fight for a cause. And if suppose Moon is also there, you definitely have to fight, and you will have to fight for a cause with utmost nourishment. As a part of, like, it's not your place to fight, but you internally sympathize with that particular individual or with that particular situation, and you feel that it's my need to stand over there. It's that kind of a situation. But trust me, if you will fight for the right cause, you will most prominently win. That's a part of your responsibility and part of your fortune. Now next is Jupiter coming over Venus. This is a time where you accumulate knowledge. You accumulate wisdom of the world, like dunyadari that we say. If you are to go out and connect with a lot of people, how must you do that? Do you have to trust everyone, or do you have to be an intelligent and diplomatic individual who knows whom to trust and whom not to trust? This is the lesson what this Jupiter coming over Venus is going to give you. This can even give you relationship, because either your Venus is in the sign of Sagittarius or it is in the sign of any of the air signs. So you have been very distorted within your relationships. You have been very confused in your relationships. Or you are a person who somehow does not have total stability in the relationships. But now when Jupiter is coming over this Venus, it is going to stabilize this Venus. Even if you have a running away attitude from your relationship responsibilities, this Jupiter is going to, fold your ear, make you come towards your partner and force you to be responsible. It's like a marriage counselor for you, or it's a relationship counselor for you. Even if you have been a non-committal person, this Jupiter will make you commit. So that's why it initiates marriage. If you are having problems within your relationships earlier, it is going to work towards your negotiations within your relationship. Like for example, you are getting divorced, your divorce has been delaying since so long, it is going to find the settlement. Or if you have decided for a divorce, when Jupiter is coming over this Venus or coming trine to this Venus, this will make you come to an mutual agreement and get done with it and start with new relationships. And if you are in an existing relationship, you are happy into that, this Jupiter is going to bless you with travels, with leisure experiences, foreign travels, with money. Especially this is brilliant for people working into marketing and any sort of business. Either it is associated with their skills, beauty, luxury, and designing, creativity. But this is beautiful. This is going to heal your relationships and bless your relationships. And it will also give you sexual encounters because it's Venus. And even in fact with Mars also. But with Mars, that might not be a sexual encounter with the relationship. It can be just a lustful encounter. Now, this Venus is also the responsible for your luxury. So you would want to buy a luxurious car. Maybe like I remember talking to my very close one like 2 to 3 days ago, I suppose, and she asked me that my husband is desiring to get a Defender. He is very fond of that car and he always thinks that will I be able to find that? Will I be able to get that? So that is a kind of a situation. All of you who have Venus in any of these signs and you desire to buy your dream car, you might be able to buy that. Now, please don't tell me that it's so luxury. Like even if your, bank account balance is just like a few lakhs, right? And you desire to buy a car for 1 or 2 crores. That is not practically possible. But whatsoever is possible in your reach, you will be able to achieve that. Okay? And this also helps with creation. Because Venus being in either of the signs, either it's the air signs or it is the sign of Sagittarius, that means you are either a philosophical individual or you work with, technology, you work with communications. So you're going to bring in those creativity or creative learning within your professions. And you're going to get recognized for that. You're going to get money from that. So a time, like for example, if you are a builder, you are an architecture, you are an architect. I always call it architecture for some reason. And you are an architect, now you will be blessed with beautiful contracts. I remember one of my friend is an architect and she has Venus in the sign of Gemini. So I'm going to, call her afterwards and tell her that. She will be super happy about it. Okay. So it is going to bless you with your profession and also not just bless you with wealth and money. It is going to bless you with worldly lessons and your wisdom, your knowledge most prominently. Whenever there is a combination of Jupiter and Venus, it's a guru of asuras and a guru of devatas coming together, joining hands. So it's like they have everything. They have every type of weapon. They are like the magicians in the tarot deck. Okay? So next is the planet Mercury. If Jupiter is coming over Mercury or opposite to Mercury, Jupiter accepted Mercury, right? But Mercury does not feel very well with Jupiter. Like, Mercury is a teenage child who's getting lectured by his or her teachers or parents. And you guys would have seen how they behave. They're like, why are you lecturing me? My niece does like that. Oh, the lecture has started. she does like that. So that's a typical, association of Mercury with Jupiter. It's like your communication is judged every time. The moment you pass on a very immature comment or immature stuff, you're going to get judged for that. You're going to get your responsibility for that. You have to now own your communication. You will have to be the man or woman of your words with this Jupiter transit. So either your Mercury is in Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Jupiter is going to enhance the ability to learn for you. It is going to give you recognition with your academics, with your knowledge, with your expertise. But at the same time, you will be in the eyes of other person. You will be judged for your communication. You will be, defended upon your communication. So this Jupiter is actually going to give you the responsibility with your words. It is going to give you responsibility with your promiscuous nature. It is going to suppress your distractions. It is going to make you focused. It can work really well for your sisters or for your daughters. But this is a time where you can be recognized and you can earn your fortune with your knowledge. You'll be either educating yourself or you'll get the opportunity of educating other people. You might get a very prominent training program within your workspace or regarding your job. And you'll be learning from that. This Jupiter is going to give you lessons with your instability. How do you handle your instability? I won't say it is going to bless you with stability, but it is going to give you that sense of wisdom, of forming strategies to deal with changes in your life. So, for example, you might be leaving a job. There can be a significant change you might be experiencing with this, Jupiter coming over Mercury. Now, this Jupiter will make you learn how do you get over it? How do you deal with that change? But trust me on this will give you fortune, but it will be a little uncomfortable situation to gain your fortune from. It can make you famous for your skills. Mercury is responsible for your skills, for your communications. You will have the ability and the opportunity to communicate with people, and people are going to listen to you. They are going to feel as if you are their counselor. You are giving an advice, a piece of advice that is much needed. But whenever Saturn comes over Mercury or aspects Mercury, or because if you are a Sagittarius, Mercury, Saturn is going to throw its 10th aspect, Jupiter is going to throw its 7th aspect. It is the time for you to get a job. It's the time for you to either indulge into business. Okay, but these planets actually give you karma related to your communication. It restricts your communication. It makes you become optimistic, but also very valuable with your communication, very productive with your communication. So if suppose you have Mercury in Gemini, it is going to suppress your communication because it will give you lessons. Like for example, I know a person with Mercury in Gemini who has a lot of friends. And now recently that person is getting married, and his fiance is very worried about this nature that he prioritizes his friends over his fiance. So now the catch here or the lesson here would be, now they would understand what their priorities should be, how much communication they must have, how much, there shouldn't be any over communication. So that's what Jupiter is going to give the responsibility for with Mercury. Then only your fortune will be at your step. Okay, there can be positive changes within your workspace. There can be travels, there can be relocations or relocation within your work. Now next is the planet Saturn. Jupiter coming over Saturn in the sign of Gemini helps you with your technical skills. It is a time for you to manifest your dreams. It is the time for you to manifest your dream career. It is the time for your growth. Of course, along with that, you will get a lot of responsibility. You'll have to be disciplined. You'll have to take care. You'll have to be philosophical with your communication, with your skills. You'll have to be more of a counselor to others and a person who is also guided towards the right path. But trust me, it's the time for your growth, slow and steady growth. It's the time for your career's foundation. But whenever Jupiter comes over Saturn, it manifests. Like for example, if you are a Scorpio ascendant, or you are a Sagittarius ascendant, or you are, for example, a Leo ascendant, and you are unmarried. And even it works for Aquarius ascendant. You will be able to get married now. Or it can even be a birth of a child for you people. Saturn increases responsibility. Jupiter also does that. So it's the time for you to own your actions, your karma. You are going to have harshest of lessons, but you would value those lessons. You'll be like, this was much needed for me. And thankful to the God that He gave me this opportunity. That He gave me these lessons. It's an important time, very important time. And it will help you with your skills, learning some technical skills. Either, even if you are a doctor, you are an engineer, or you are a IT professional, you are an architect, you are a real estate worker, you are a markets person, you are going to learn. You're going to furnish your skills. and this is going to be solid. This could even give you battles, fights with either your neighbors or within your relatives. That has to be seen with the house placement also, but it can give you war-like situation or fights with any of these. This is your time to have your social presence but reduce your social media presence. It's your time to work on the back end, not on the upfront for now. You might be able to fulfill that in the future, but right now it's much needed to work on your foundation. Okay, now next is Rahu and Ketu. Jupiter is actually also giving its ninth aspect over the transit Rahu in Aquarius, right? So it of course will have those results, but we are going to talk about it in the video of Rahu and Ketu, right? But here, if Jupiter comes over Rahu, it can give you fame. It's like a blast of fame, blast of you getting recognized for your skills. It's a communicative time. It's a confident time for you to bring out all those ideas, put them into action. It's a time where your instability is actually going to help you with your money creation, with your fulfillment of your desires. Excellent time for marketing. Excellent time for marketing your business, marketing your work. Or within your work, if you are into job, market, sales. It's the time for that. It's time to communicate with so many people. It's time for your transformation. It's time for your transformation with your efforts, with your skills, and with your communication. You will get lessons for your non-committing nature. And now you will have to commit. Either it's a relationship or it's a career or it's anything else in your life. You will have to commit. You will have to focus. Jupiter coming over Rahu in a way controls Rahu. Now this Rahu is going to start acting like Jupiter. It is not going to go into that low level of communication. Rather, it will serve a purpose now. Even with its creativity, with its expertise, it is going to serve a purpose. With Ketu, when Jupiter comes over Ketu, trust me on this, you are going to isolate yourself because you're going to start understanding who is right, who is wrong for you. This is something I have seen very evidently with every transit of Jupiter. Either it's in Aries, it's in Sagittarius, it's in Leo, any sign. Jupiter coming over Ketu gives you lessons that comes in from within. It makes you understand, develop an understanding for the psychology of people, psychology of others. It makes you research. It makes you isolate yourself, work for, out of 24 hours, you are going to work for 15 hours, 14 hours. You are going to be sacrificial. At the same time, you're going to work towards your cause. You're going to work towards your research. You're going to find answers. It's a beautiful placement for a person who is either a writer, editor, journalist, person who is into engineering research, medical research, works very well there. But this Jupiter is going to now guide your Ketu. Guide your Ketu to work with its skills, research upon its skills, and help people by benefiting them. It is going to make you acknowledge your detachment. It is going to make you communicate. Okay, so whenever I see Jupiter coming over Ketu or Ketu coming over Jupiter, I know it is a philosophical and spiritual time for an individual. They go towards spirituality in the form of looking their answers, finding their answers. And then they become self-expertise. Like, for example, they expert themselves into that particular criteria where they are looking answers. So, having Ketu in Gemini is like being an all-rounder person. Even that's with Rahu. Now, this Jupiter is going to help you to be expert in all those all-rounder stuff of yours. You're not going to be confused anymore. You're not going to be clueless anymore. You are going to have particular directions for particular subject. But take one step at a time. This is a spiritual time for you as well. This is a time where you forgive people for what they have done. To let them be the way they are and understand that the actual power is within yourself. Now the last one is Jupiter coming over Jupiter as the natal return. This is your time to present yourself in front of public and communicate your wisdom, communicate your knowledge. Give those philosophical pravachans. Your advice would matter. You'll have to deal with your responsibilities, definitely. And even your mother will have to deal with her responsibilities. This is going to be a prominent time for her as well. It is going to be a prominent time for you as well. And also, it is going to be an important time for your elder brothers or your husbands, in fact. It can initiate either a childbirth or, in fact, marriage. So the natal return is there to make you responsible, to make you philosophical, to add on to your philosophical learnings, your life lesson learnings. This is a fortunate time for you people, where you would love the fortune that is coming, the blessing that is coming. And this will give you a platform to present yourself. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis with this Jupiter's transit. We are going to go with each and every zodiac sign in the next videos. Okay? See you next time. Bye-bye. Take care.